Hey, y'all. Welcome to Everybody Gets 15 Minutes here at Waterloo Records in Austin, Texas. It's a conversation with some of our favorite acts. We have the privilege of hosting live in-store on our very own stage. I'm Gus Ochoa, and this is Stella Maxwell of Stella and the Very Messed.
Hello.
She's here in support of Big Familiar. That's her latest record. If you're watching, there you go. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover.
Thank you.
I love it. I was listening to it on the way in today.
Yeah.
First of all, so have you ever played Waterloo?
I played Waterloo at the old location probably 20 years ago with my former band.
So when you were like 15?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's when it was.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was, I remember it was it was definitely like a weekday because I had to get out of working at the after school program that I worked at. And my boss came. I think it was the only time she'd ever seen us play. And it was just odd and fun and really cool. And
what do you think of this new spot? I mean, you guys just sound checked. You're going to play, to be fair, like for those of you watching and listening, they're going to be playing after this. So what did you think?
It was great. I mean, I walked in, I hadn't been here yet. And so it's much bigger, the whole space, but you've managed to keep it feeling very homey and familiar. And I love it. The stage is like really nice. I was told that I'm standing on wood from the ACL live stage.
Yeah, from 6A. Did John tell you that?
Yes.
Yeah, he's very proud of that.
Yeah,
for sure. As are our owners. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm proud of that too.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that though. Several people who have played here have said, "Oh, the vibes are here," and I'm like, "Good, that's really good."
It is.
I'm glad
it really is.
I'm glad that they moved over with the record bins. For those not familiar, I remember you fronting a band called Cruiserweight. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that. Okay, it's a very specific memory for me at a very specific time in my life and emos and like all of that. But tell me about the story about Stella and the Very Messed.
So I guess maybe. I mean, the pandemic makes everything, you're just like, I don't even know what time is anymore. But I'd started writing just for myself. I'd done some kind of like other projects, like kid projects and stuff. And I started just writing songs about 2017. And Dave, who's in this band with me, was also in Cruiserweight. And he and I worked together in other ways, recording kids. And so I would just send him the demos and it sort of became like, I think we've almost got an album. And so we recruited Chris to join and we had somebody else playing drums and we just like made an album without really knowing exactly what we were going to do. This was in 2019 that we did it. And then we released it in January of 2020 and we had all these plans and it was, so we were like, we're a band now. We booked a bunch of shows for South by and then everything sort of stopped. But it started as sort of my project, but it's definitely become a band that is collaborative. We all help with the writing and it's stuff I'm really proud of. I don't feel like it fits into a box very well. And I think that just historically, I've always felt like I needed to fit into some sort of box. And I always struggled with feeling like I wasn't, but now I kind of embrace it. And it's just, there's not really anything important to me except writing songs that I like. Yeah. And if other people like them, then I guess that's good.
I mean, I love that. It's, I was going to say, I've read some things about the record and they're like, alt rock 90s and like all of this kind of like buzzwords. Mm-hmm. And I'm really like, when I hear a song like Not Dynamite, right? That's not what I think of. There's more of an experimental element to it. There's still a pop sensibility for sure. Yeah. But like, yeah, I think
it's a pretty wanking guitar solo at the end. It's just, that song has everything.
Yeah, no, exactly.
People need to talk about music and they need to be able to have like language that everybody understands. And so that's, why like genre exists. And maybe at one point in time it was like really important, but now that just everybody can make music and so many more people do and release it, it sort of all melts together. And so I hate it when people ask me to describe our sound. I can't. Yeah.
And I was going to say that I was actually going to go there, but I'm not going to now. But the thing that stuck out to me was, again, like, people get into saying like, playful indie pop sensibilities and things like that. And it's just like,
what does that mean?
What do you mean? Like, I don't know. Like,
what does that mean? That's word salad.
I mean, I write songs. Allie writes songs. Yeah. Like, I mean, so many people I know, you could be like, yeah, that's kind of in that area, I guess, but I don't know. So as far as like the record goes, how is it different from? It was On Fences. That was the first one.
Yeah.
How is it different from On Fences? Big Familiar.
On Fences was, I mean, it's, On Fences was the first album. And I think for most artists, like a first album takes years to write. So it was something that had been written over the course of 2 or 3 years. And so the songs are all pretty, I mean, they're just spread apart as far as like where I was in time. Big Familiar was written in the course of a few months. We had started writing, and then our guitarist was moving, and so we had this deadline of finishing the record before he moved away because we really liked writing with him. And so we just had a few Saturday writing sessions where we would just like go, and we didn't have time really to think about choices. That's why Not Dynamite sounds the way it sounds, because we were like, yep, okay, cool. Does it make sense? We don't know. Let's just keep going. And we just wrote it kind of quickly, and there's an intensity that I think comes across in it.
Yeah, I was talking about this recently with my partner about how since we've opened this new store, there's been a lot of things that are very different and things are moving quickly, and I don't have a lot of time to think. And I'm a big overthinker. I mean, I'm a musician as well, and that can definitely bleed into that area.
Yeah. And
so that's really cool to hear that, like that. I feel like, what's the word, validated that you've just said that.
Yeah.
that having too much time to do that sort of can hinder you, right?
Oh, it can just kill the sense of creativity. You can compare yourself to other people all the time. That's bad. And you can and overthinking, like, how are people going to perceive this? Like, why should I care about what anybody else is going to think about my lyrics? Like, I just got to write them and just get them down, and I don't know when the world's going to end. So let's just like keep making music now while we can. I tend to go dark now that I have a child, where I'm like, things are going bad, guys. I don't know what's going on with this country, with this world, with this planet.
Absolutely.
But like, let's just keep making music while we can.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, whatever your thoughts are on Rick Rubin, he said something that really stuck out to me about writing your music for you and it being a diary entry, and how could someone not like your diary entry? Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm into that.
Right. Like if it's not for you, it's not for you. But yeah, like I don't need to worry about what people think about it. Too much.
No, not at all. Absolutely. So I was reading some things about the record. There was this one site that said that Maxwell has created something that speaks to everyone who has had to love people from a distance, recognizing that sometimes the most caring thing you can do is step away. So, like, in that sense, I guess from a songwriting standpoint, not so much a sound, but like, where's this record coming from for you?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I've been asked kind of that question sort of in a roundabout way of like, like what inspired it? Does it have a story? And I'm not smart enough to like think of a collection of songs and how they should kind of like come together to tell like one story. I mean, I think for me, this record was a chance for me to write about anything that I was thinking about and not like question it too much. Because in the past, like I haven't wanted to write about like family relationships because I don't want my family to hear about it or whatever, and or whatever it is. And I've just I wrote a song about the Frank Erwin Center on the album, the last song.
Wait, which one is it?
Demo the Super Drum. The Super Drum is like that's the nickname.
What they used to call it.
They used to call it that. So it's.
I was born and raised. I totally remember the Super Drum.
And so you remember whenever it was like being torn down and how crazy it looked. It looked like a scene from War of the Worlds or something. It was like that weird red frame for a minute, and then it had so many different phases. And so every time I was driving down the highway, I would like look and see it, and I just felt really sad for it because it was this sort of beautiful sight where it was just sort of like being torn apart. And like that's whenever I started noticing this building and it's gone, and it's like, why is it gone? And I don't know, it doesn't matter. But in the past, I think I would have been like, no, I'm not gonna write that, or we're not gonna put that on a song that's actually gonna get released. That's silly. And so I think for me, this was just a process of just writing what I was thinking of and not questioning it too much.
I love that. I can't believe you made me think about the Super Drum right now. It was kind of sad.
It was sad.
It was like driving past it. It was weird. I mean, I think a lot of my friends who didn't grow up here or haven't spent, as much time as someone who's grown up here. It was strange to drive by all those times and like be able to see through it. And like, I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, like wild. And I mean, and it's on 30, I would see it while I was on 35 in standstill traffic. So I'm already in a bad mood. And like, and then there's just construction going up all over the city elsewhere. And it's like, okay, everything else is being built up and this thing is just being torn apart and pulled down. And like, they used some of the materials elsewhere and that's great. But it just was, I don't know.
The ever-changing landscape of Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
I love that about that song. Now I'm going to go back and listen to that song again. So as far as the songs on the record go, I have to say, like, I was telling Chris 9, who's in your band, who I love.
Yeah, she's great. She's
fantastic. You have a lot of great people in this band, actually. Someone in the band's from Black Books, right?
Yeah, Sam Rich. He was also in Dynamite Boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. Incredible. But Chris 9 has also been in like Shotzi, and she's been in is it Tenderwolf? And like there's a number of bands.
She's in like 18 bands.
Yeah, Nathan the Natural, not Nathan the Naturals, what are they called? I can't remember. Yeah. She's in a number of different things.
She has so many instruments, and you're like, I was thinking about this sound. I don't know if we can find one. She just pulls it out of a closet.
I mean, do you feel awesome that you can like marshal all those forces together?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, absolutely. I know what I'm good at, and it is one thing. And so to know that there are people that have a lot of skills. It's really nice.
Yeah, Chris and I were just talking about that. I'm a songwriter myself, and I've been in band situations. And I think for me, writing like by myself, and like that's what I contribute to whatever situation. It's like, you need something to play this. This will be fun. Come up with your thing, and here we go.
Yeah.
But no, I'm listening to the record today on the way in, and I was telling Chris, which one? The 4th track, Are We There Yet? I love that. And I love that. And I love Kids with No Laces. Those both kind of stuck out to me as ones I like. So for you, is it hard if I ask you? I mean, I know it's hard because why would you put anything down if you didn't love it? But like, are there tunes on this you want to call out and say, hey, everybody, you should listen to these songs? Are there some that are your favorites? I
mean, you talked about Not Dynamite, and I think that song is so quirky and weird that I'm so proud of that fact. So I love that one. I want everybody to hear it. But I think, there's a little something for a lot of people. Yeah. And it's I think all hits. They're all hits. Every single one.
You heard it here, everybody. All hits.
All
Go
hits.
and listen to the entire thing. And scream it from the rooftops how awesome it is. Okay. Turning to, what are you listening to now? Like, what have you been interested in? Like maybe a few records you're like, that kind of inspire you, I guess, that on a daily basis.
Well, keeping in mind that I have a 3-year-old, so most of the time I'm in my car listening to the Aquabats because that's what he wants to listen to. But
awesome.
So I'm not going to name 3 Aquabats albums. They've got like 50. But
really?
They're still going, still going from the 90s till now. I mean, they had a TV show. It's great. I'm fine. Ska is back. Ska is back, everybody. I would say things I'm listening to whenever I don't have to, when I'm not being held hostage by my 3-year-old. Perfume Genius, the album that came out earlier this year, Glory. I heard it for the first time in my car. I hadn't really listened to much Perfume Genius before that, and the first song is that single, It's a Mirror, and I remember it just filling my car, and just like it felt so warm and whole. It just was like, holy. It usually takes me like listening to something a few times and like getting familiar with the melody a little bit before I really like feel it deeply. And this was instantaneous.
Yeah.
So I love that album.
That's awesome.
Otis Wilkins, he put out Power of Stuff.
I love Taylor. He's one of my favorite people on the planet.
Wow. So I don't really know him, but
I should introduce you. He's great.
We have met, but and then this is kind of about like whether you know people or not. Like in Austin, like when I listen to local artists' records, I usually listen kind of with the mindset of like, okay, what do I know about this person? I associate them with this artist or this venue or this scene or this studio or whatever. And and it's not bad, but it kind of opens up the door for me thinking about like, oh, the production choices or whatever. And I, whether I really know them or not, I'm like, I've probably run into them in the record store,
Sure.
or I pass them on the street, or we played a show together randomly or whatever. And so I kind of listen to things through that filter, and it's fun, you know, like I'm a trash TV girl. I love gossip. I just love like drama. I just love thinking about it. I love stories. And so I make stories up in my head, even about artists that I don't know. And they're good ones. But when I heard Power of Stuff, when I heard Otis's record or Taylor's record,
Right.
I didn't have any of that happen. It was kind of like that teenage experience of before I ever had experience recording and knowing what goes into making an album. And that relationship to recording has just everything I listen to, I'm like listening for certain things. And, you know, whether usually it's like vocal effects or doubling or whatever, but it went away as soon as I turned on the album. It was just this like really cool, groovy record that I could never make. And it just was like, it just felt like lounging.
Yeah.
The record did. And I think it's amazing. So I think it's a really good thing that like, I just immediately tuned in and I was not thinking about who made the record or anything else. It just kind of like took me the way that albums used to take me whenever I was a teenager.
I love that. Yeah. I think it's a great record.
Yeah.
For sure.
Really
it was so cool, especially to come out of Boston.
Yeah. Just it's that cool where it could have been, you know, from somewhere else, but
totally.
So there's so many like local artists that I love. The Subpar Snatch put out an EP this summer. We played with them for that, and they like it's good. I listened to it on the way here. It's like music that gets me super pumped whenever I need that. But as a live band, holy shit! Like they're
Really?
so good. You should definitely check them out if you haven't. They're incredible.
I will.
Yeah,
absolutely. Anything else, or are those the ones that are doing it for you right now?
Those are the ones, and you know, Hayley Williams from Paramore putting out, you know,
There
like
you
putting out like a solo record. I love.
Allie's pumping the fist in the corner.
He's into it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I just think it's cool because like I was doing Cruiserweight whenever Paramore came up, and
Oh, right.
so it was kind of like this. You know, I knew of them. I didn't know them, but I knew about the misogyny in the pop punk scene and and how hard, like, especially looking back on it, I realized like, oh man, that was really rough. That was really rough to be a young woman in that scene.
How old were you when you were when you started Cruiserweight?
I was 19 when we started.
Okay, so,
and then, so it was all through my 20s that we were touring and stuff. And so this project that I'm in, like, this is not a solo project by any means, but it's closer to that, you know. It feels more mine, and you know, and as you grow as an artist, it's just cool to see other artists and their growth. And I mean, she's put out this album that is like everybody loves it, and to me it's funny because there was a time when Paramore was just kind of like, oh yeah, they were that pop punk band, but she's like really doing incredible things and working with other artists, and she's got really great messages and things she's standing up for. Like, it's nuts. She's a huge star. Huge.
Well, and I mean, I haven't always been a Paramore fan, but this is why it was awesome record.
Yeah.
I love that record.
Yeah.
There's a song on there where I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
So,
like,
incredible.
it's just like pretty grown up, like Talking Heads kind of vibes. And like, it was just really cool. And then, you know, the solo stuff that she's put out too is, I can hear the difference. I can hear that it's not Paramore, that it's just more her, but it's just rad. All of it's really good.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that. Well, it's been a pleasure talking. Yeah. Like I said, it's a short thing. It's 15 minutes for sure.
15 minutes, okay.
Thank you for your time, Stella Maxwell.
Thank you for having me.
And thank y'all for listening. Stella and the Very Messed are here in support of their latest album. I'm going to show the camera here. You guys listening are just going to have to pretend. No, actually come to Waterloo and get it. That'd be even better. Yeah. Big Familiar's out everywhere on vinyl and CD as of September 19th on Double Helix Records. And you can, of course, pick it up here at Waterloo Records that I just mentioned. You can follow them on Instagram at Stella and the Very Messed. And you can follow us on Instagram at Waterloo Records and at waterloo.sound for our Dolby Atmos studio and Waterloo_Wheels follow the adventures of our Waterloo van. That's kind of nuts. But I love it. I'd like to thank Cory Reinisch, our marketing manager, for making these in-stores happen. Allie Lingren, our in-house engineer, for always dialing it in. And finally, to our incredible, awesome staff, without which none of this is possible. I'm Gus Ochoa. Until next time, support the artists you love, support your local record store, and if you're in Austin, stop in and say hey. We'd love to see you. Adios, y'all.